What's up? What's up? What's going on? I'm gonna talk about a couple things that I'm gonna zero in on some things that will kind of help you. And it's not necessarily secret. You've heard this before, but it kind of is because nobody really wants to break it down to you. They don't want to really tell you because it's certain things that it's really important. I think that it's important uh in regards to mate selection because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times people they forget, I talk about, making money and trying to make money, but one of the things that people don't understand is on this lower actual chart here on the Maslow's theory hierarchy of needs, one of these things is missing on here that's at the bottom, and it's on the other charts of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but it's not on this one. Now, if you've been educated like I have, you already know what is missing on that below chart, and basically what's missing is sex. Sex is also important. Every species has to procreate, and some people have edges when it comes to that department, and they don't necessarily want to give you the trade secrets. They don't want to tell you what's going on because they having a competitive advantage, and it's like that's one of the reasons why I have no problem with the with men charging for, like, lessons or advice, or their Patreon for, you know different types of advice when it comes to women. I myself have joined a Patreon. Cousin T-Taw, I joined his Patreon before, because I thought it was valuable information. And what I thought was valuable information actually it was just as valuable as I thought it was, if not more. And it was definitely worth it, the time that I was, pretty much in the Patreon. Now, I say all of that to say that, yeah, I don't have any problems with anybody basically charging for information, especially things like that, because it is important. You know, Procreating is very, very important. I'm gonna remind you a couple things. Okay, it's a guy by the name of Neely Fuller, and one of the things Neely Fuller said was black people were not taught certain things purposely. One of the things was economics. Second was the art of warfare. Third was the art of mating. Okay. We weren't taught how to properly mate, about war, and definitely economics. Now, that being said, or you can even say business, you can just put business in there. But because I think he did say business. But anyway, basically, when it comes to the art of mating, it's very, very powerful because that's how your species continues on. That's how you continue on. That's how your your children are very, very important. You know, Children are actually priceless. It's no value on my kids. I'll go to prison for the rest of my life for my kids. I'll sacrifice myself for my kids. My body is way more valuable than any aspirations of billions of dollars that I desire to have, or whatever, or would like to have. I would throw it all away over my children. Now, all of that being said, that's one of the secrets, I'll say, as far as what people don't realize. Like, I know it's 8 billion people in the world, right? People die every day, whatever. Um, the thing is that it still remains the fact that your children are very, very priceless. I know people are scared to have children, and that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about a little bit too. Not going to be on here that long, but um I don't know, like I was going to do a video on Mouse Utopia because it seems like it's kind of how people are like on that basically experiment Mouse Utopia. People are not wanting to be with each other, people scared to have children and shit. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And that's very Mouse Utopia-ish. Very, very, very similar to Mouse Utopia. And I was gonna do a video on it, but I really don't like to do stuff like that because that type of content is very dark, and people have already in a dark place. I wouldn't want to bring them into even more darkness. Like I mean, I'm trying to inspire people to a certain degree also, as well as give information. I don't want people to go, they might already be in a dark place. I mean, then they go even deeper. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not trying to do that. I'm not trying to, do a reaction video to 1984 and Animal Farm and uh, uh, you know, different, weird ass, movies and stuff, conspiracy type movies or whatever. Just not trying to do that. Okay. I'm not I'm not trying to watch um, stuff like that, man, and do a reaction video on it. I'm just nah. Um, the thing is man, is I know people are scared, the food that we eat, it puts fear in us. Like you eat these animal proteins and you basically kind of in a way eating fear that animals getting slaughtered, that animals like blood and everything, all of it's, you know, all of that is transmitted onto you. You're eating, all of this fear, It's why people are so skittish and scared, because they're not aware that they're eating animals that are scared. They're pissing and shitting on themselves because they're so scared, and you eating that fear. It's like fucking Gotham City. It's like the Dark Knight when dude sprayed all of that like poison, and it made people bring out their worst fears. you know um People are scared, and when it come to like men and being fucking scared and shit, like that is going to turn you away from getting women. Like that's gonna really be a hindrance to getting women, because in order to really get women, you really have to be, you got, like I'm gonna just keep it like this, right? I'm gonna just give it to you just like it is, right? When it comes to like women, if you are like, if you already got kids, one of the reasons why a lot of men that do have kids um get women or whatever, even get a lot of women, it's kind of like being a reverse serial killer. Okay, imagine, okay, you're a serial killer. Okay, get out of there. But if you're not afraid to actually give life, right? You're not afraid to impregnate a woman, right? Like, you walk up to you, the chick walk up to you, like, bitch, I'll blow your stomach up. I mean, like, you have like almost like a predator type of mind where a woman can sense like you're not scared, like, I'll fuck you up, like that type of mentality. I know this is like, you're not used to this. I mean, Alan Roger Curry, used to talk like this a lot of time. I even myself, I'm not really comfortable. I hear myself on the playback and I'm like, damn, oh, I gotta go here, but I gotta go here. I mean, I'm trying to help I'm trying to help, those that need to be helped. And, whoever, can be helped, so be it. But the thing is that a lot of people, a lot of guys are so fearful. I was listening to somebody, somebody, I ain't gonna say who they are, but it's a guy that don't have no kids, man. Don't have no kids. Very smart, very intelligent, very insightful, but he prides himself on the fact that he does not have kids, and he's older, pretty much, after like 30, what, 35, uh, really early 30s even. You're basically what I call a grandparent parent. You're a man or woman that's having children, when really you should be at that age already preparing to possibly your children to go to high school, prepping for college. You 35, your children should already be in high school, should be in junior high. You have a kid. You got to think, you're 35. Your kid is a baby. By the time that kid is 20 years old, you're going to already be 55. When, normally by timeline, you should normally be in the college graduation, being like in your 40s. But people have, I've done plenty of content on the research. I researched why people are having children at later times, right? People not even having children. That's why they brung all these immigrants over here. And the immigrants are coming over here. They don't need to hear me say shit. They already a program. They fucking they busting nuts. And they not scared to bust nuts. Like, I mean, you know, it's crazy that I have to even, do shit like this, as far as talk like this, because it's like other people don't have those fears. And I'll say this, like, it is a lot of men, they don't have that fear. That fear really, it kind of puts you in a tailspin. And I think one of the reasons why people why guy I mean, some guys go overseas and they're more carefree about that. Okay, but the thing is that one of the reasons why I think guys are so scared is because they're scared to make a mistake. And I think it's based off of a couple things. One is about societal acceptance from their peer group, and also certain religious doctrines. You come from a family very, very religious. You might have been a Jehovah's Witness or Catholic or whatever. You got all these little dogmas and things you're supposed to do and not do. And you don't want to come up being a single mother or a single father, possibly, or take risks. I mean, you don't necessarily, that's not necessarily what I'm saying, is go out and bust nuts and be a single dad. I'm not giving a fatwa on busting nuts and becoming a single dad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, women are attracted to men that don't have fear. Okay, that's a fact. You don't have to need, you don't need me to co-sign that shit, like, or women to co-sign that. They already know. Like, they know that. Okay. um about nearly 40% of the audience that listens to me is women. I see that on the analytics. But yeah, a lot of dudes, I think those are the two biggest things that people fear, like guys fear primarily, is to be uh an outlier. Like, basically, if you go below the middle class, being having a messed up relationship or whatever, and actually being a single parent is not that much of a big deal. When you go up the higher classes, like upper middle class, upper class, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing to be a single parent, and to be upper class. Yes, it is. And that's why people are not really, that's one of the reasons why people are scared, both men and women, to have children or to take risks, certain risks when it comes to having sex. That's why they get the abortions and all that other stuff. Because yeah, people are have aspirations to be upper class. People, if you if you go to college and you go and do a study or do a, just like you go walk around and you just ask, some questions, and you ask the students, are you going to college to be upper class or lower class? They're going to tell you they're going to school to be upper class, not lower class. Even though, they might, that the fate of them being lower class might, it just, you never know what's going to happen in life, but they have the aspirations to reach higher highs. They're not going to college to reach lower lows. So people's aspirations to be upper class, that's why they have a fear of failure. Now, here's the thing: there is upper class that do have failed relationships. It's not, I don't know how, it's probably not as often or prevalent as the lower classes, but they do have single moms, Kim Kardashians of the world or whatever, you know a failed relationship or divorce, whatever. But the thing is that when it comes down to it, that fear is definitely not, it's if I don't really talk about the whole alpha stuff that much, but that's definitely not alpha to be scared to basically impregnate a woman. It's definitely not by a landslide, because it's just not the case at all. Now, it's a thing where that fear, you could do certain things. I mean, you could be, a pull out rock star and all of that. I mean, that's definitely something that you could do. Not every guy can pull out. Not every guy knows how to pull out or has a pull out game. I have to admit, I have no pull out game whatsoever. I mean, I never even tried to have a pullout. I mean, no, I've never even tried. And I'm not saying I couldn't, but that's not even something that ever really I try to indulge in. But holding your nut, I mean, you definitely will have to do that. I mean, to please a woman, women don't like to, you just go all fast and then you bust a nut, like, it depends on who you with. But yeah, it's a thing where, yeah, you being scary and all that type of shit, it's kind of a turn off. It's, women have a carnal urge just like men have, and they can sense, man, this motherfucker will fuck me up, and they can sense that. They can look at you like, they can look at me and be like, this dude will probably fuck the shit out of me and fuck me up and blow my stomach up and my back out. Like, they think, they have certain inclinations and stuff like that. And it's like, at the end of the day, they will be attracted to more men like that than the hesitant, scary, unsure, man that is so fearful, of the consequences and all that other shit. It just is what it is. Now, also, I have to say that one of the things that a lot of people don't tell you, they don't really zero in and inform you on, as far as dating and relationships, is one of the biggest takeaways, as far as what I probably haven't even said, and I kind of like reminded myself, and this is very, very much a takeaway that a lot of guys don't really talk about, You got to really get with a woman if you really want to have a cohesive relationship, and you want to have, it don't matter where you are in the world, if you actually want to have a cohesive relationship with a woman, you really have to get a woman that you can dominate. Okay, like the trick is you have to get a woman that will let you be yourself and dominate her. If you don't get with a woman, if let's say you know what most guys do, they just get with a woman that just, either they some on some equal shit, or they get with a chick that really she's dominant towards him by manipulation. Because women have the same notion. You know, one of the things that men talk about online is, women like the chick from Aquila the Bee. Forgot her name. Um, I don't remember her name, but she dated the guy that's the light skinned dude that's a personal trainer, and she got pregnant by him. And people were saying all kind of shit about why you choose this guy. You could even talk about Nicki Minaj. She chose a regular dude with, but he had a record. He had a felony for sexual assault. I mean, I don't really know what comes from that. I heard the chick was, she kind of made it up to get back at him. I don't know, but she chose somebody basically that's way less inferior than she is. She on a lower level than what she is. Now, the reason why women do that is very similar to what I'm saying. They get with men that they can kind of somewhat dominate. Okay, that don't give them any problems with dominating them. Because women are animals too. They want to dominate. And when you if you don't if you forget that, or if you never knew that or don't know that, you will hit a brick wall every single time. That's why a lot of low key, a lot of dudes don't really like. That's one of the reasons why dudes don't like me, because a lot of dudes really, in order to keep a relationship going, they secretly have relationships with women that really pretty much run the show. They run the household. And the reason being is because they have a situation from the start of the relationship. They wanted that woman so bad they would do anything. And that woman, as soon as you are like that, you give the woman all of your power. Or they will just coerce over the period of time throughout the relationship for the woman to basically dominate them by every time there's some type of event, everything that's done, they make the decision. Yeah, that's a woman trying to be manipulative and dominant. And they do that, and they know why they're doing it, and they know that they are doing it. They know that's why they think and feel and know that they're in control. That's that they're not dumb. They know about the matriarchal control, and they talk amongst themselves about how they laugh and kiki about how they control men. The women that basically deal with men they can't control, that's the woman that's coming all over the place like a river, because she's dealing with men. She's really attracted to men that don't let them control them. That's who they're really attracted to, the men that will not allow them to control them. The women that you think, you just because you're saying yes to everything, and everything is going along because you're basically a yes man to that woman, and you one day she gets bored, because a lot of times women get bored with those types of relationships. It's no challenge. You basically don't have any backbone. It's like a worm, and she just does whatever she wants to. Even when you trying to keep things going by being basically a simp, and thinking that's gonna just kind of work itself out. In theory, you think that's gonna work out, but over time, the situation doesn't work out. Usually what happens is it ultimately goes into a situation where she breaks up with you because she gets bored. She gets bored of having her way every single day. She doesn't think of you in a high regard because she knows that goes against nature. She'll even call you. That's why women even say you're a bitch, because they know deep down they're not supposed to be telling you what to do as a man. Not supposed to be doing that. They're not even supposed to be out in public talking to you and behaving as if they're the dominant person, driving you around and shit, like you're their son and shit. Like that's just not, that's not what they're supposed that's not how they're supposed to go down, and they know that. And they stay away. The women that really are into control, they're not going to even date men on like as far as a serious level that will go for that, because they're looking for men that they can control. They're looking for men that in case something happens, they have no power and influence to really give them a run for their money. You know, um, it's a domination type of situation. Now, on the other side, when it comes to men, yeah, you should get a woman that knows and is comfortable with you being a man. It's not a situation where people, women be like, he's talking about dominance and all this other shit, like, and you know I'm not saying, like, they'd be like, because women want to make everything PG and shit, but the thing is they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know the game. They're not dumb. They know exactly what's going on. They know why it's going on. They know the who, where, when, and how. Like, they know all of that. And the thing is that, yeah, uh, when you get a woman that is totally in accordance to your domination and your dominion, that's when you can get lost. You can get really lost. And what I mean by getting lost is you can actually get off of YouTube, and you can get out of the relationship paradigm. You can get, all of the relationship videos that come on your algorithm will go away, because that problem is already resolved. The problem was you was getting with women that wanted to be dominant towards you. That was the secret. You're getting with, like I said, these like pants wearing he she's that basically are basically trying to be men. They have all the problems with this and that and the third. You're trying to get with those women. That was the problem. That's why it's all of the relationship talk and this talk and that talk. Let's talk about relationships today, tomorrow, next week, Friday, because that is what most guys get. That's what's mostly out here. Women that are, they got more pants than you. They got frogs in their throat. Some of them, quite a few of them, you know. Um, yeah, and it's really, it takes a toll on them. As far as how women are in society is really really dark. It really is really dark as far as them actually trying to embody that, reality, because that reality involves, you know, a lot of casual sex with a lot of different men, a lot of sperm deposits from multiple different men that can drive them crazy, literally. Uh, Having actual sexual health problems like PCOS, you know, being infertile at an early age. It's a lot of women. It's a rise of women being infertile. In case you didn't know that, I know you like, oh, this guy doesn't. He's not rich. He is kind of smart, but he's not rich. Yeah, smart as fuck. I research. I read like every fucking day. I probably read like, I get so much information. It's like sometimes, most of the time, it's an information overload. Yeah, statistically, the actual young people today, young women today in their 30s, you got women in their 30s having to get IVFs because, a combination of things, the food that people are eating, and all this processed crap, bad health, you know, and really oversexing can fuck you up. Like, here's another thing, like, we talking about secrets, we talking about things that people don't want to talk about and don't talk about, might not even know, because ain't everybody fucking in the know about shit. I'm on a higher plane as far as the average person. I'm more on the level of a guru. I'm not no average dude. I'm not below average. I'm not average. Even the fact that I'm not, yet rich and wealthy yet, but I'm still not average. I'm not even nowhere near average as far as intellect, knowledge, insight, all of that. Way no, way, way, way above that. That's why you hear people copying my content and then saying it just like they said it without giving me any credit. Alan Roger Curry actually, he used to hate that shit. I don't necessarily go that in depth to it, but I definitely know I'm intelligent, and I know people copy off of the shit that I say. They sneak watch me, and then just, they go, you know, try to pretend like they're me. Smarter to be smarter, you know. When all you got to do is just be, in order to be intelligent, you got to be genuine. It helps to be genuine. How do you be genuine? Get your punk ass out the cloud, and you fucking, engage, and, actually engage, and then people take you more serious, because nobody likes a fraud. I don't know why people think that they could be faking frauds. Like that shit, people are understanding, people are not into. I'm gonna tell you something. The wave in the actual paradigm that we're in now, people are very, very into the, looking at the lens of people that are very, very fake. Like a lot of people that are fake, they're getting exposed. People are looking at things like a fine-tooth comb. People can see things exactly how they are. All of these games and all of this stuff that was going on, this shit is gonna get like basically kicked to the curb. uh People are really waking up, and that, that fake shit, it doesn't have that much of a actual timeline to be successful. I mean, I can see if you took an idea and then you started some mega $1 million company or some shit like Bill Gates or whatever, or whoever, took an idea or something like that. But you going to somebody, going to your channel or whatever, and trying to say something just like somebody else said it without any credit, that's goofy. People can see you're goofy. They know you're goofy. They're gonna point it out. You're gonna be like, oh, this is a goofy, right? Fake goofy. So anyway, that is definitely what I have to say about that. But yeah, when it comes to, again, dominance, Yeah, that was all of where the problem was. That is why there's so many men, including myself, on YouTube with these, relationships or whatever that had you had a problem with or whatever. You met that one woman that gave you all these problems in the world because yeah, you chose wrong. You chose a woman that is not 100% susceptible to your dominance, that wants to be dominated by you. And it helps, again, like this is not a secret. A lot older guys tell you this. Even the younger people repeating what the older guys are saying and whatever. Choosing a woman that actually wants you. Bingo. That's the start right there. Choosing a woman that actually wants you. Now here's the thing. I know that's complicated. I know that's fucked up because you might have women that choose you that you don't really like. She might look like Big Bertha. She might look, she she might look like she can play the I formation for the Chicago Bears. And that's not something that you want to necessarily rock with.
Okay, how much do you weigh?
220.
I weigh 210 and I'm 6'4". You broke the first rule. See, you ladies don't mind breaking the rules. The men are visual. The men want women that are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. I don't mind being the size of, I'm sorry, you're 5'8"?
I'm 5'8".
You're about the size of Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders was. You're a running back size.
Okay.
You can hit the A gap like a motherfucker.
Okay. All right. I accept
So don't
that.
come in here talk about what men should not be able to do when they got to accept somebody who can run out the power I.
Okay.
I mean,
All
I'm being
right. But at
silly.
the same time, no. A lot of chubby dudes. So
Yeah. So I mean, it might be somebody that might be overweight. They might not be attractive. They might be a mid or below mid as far as looks. But they like your dirty fucking draws. They want to rip your draws off and fucking lick them. They want to give you some head right now in front of everybody. That's how bad they want you. But yeah, you don't necessarily you don't necessarily like a chick like that. The chicks that be like that ain't towards you probably are not attractive because you probably got some work to do or some fine tuning to do, change location, whatever the case may be. You might not like the women that are like that, but I'm telling you as a older, wiser man, that's the fucking secret. That you in order that's part of it, getting that woman that actually wants you, and then obviously she wants you really bad. I'm not saying okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say that's the end all be all, get a woman that wants you. No, that's not what I'm saying. The qualifier is that getting a woman that actually wants you. But the second qualifier is she is she 100% susceptible to your dominance? Meaning she is in line, in tow. Most likely, if she was raised by her dad, I would say that's kind of prerequisite right there. A lot of women that's not raised by their dads, you can fucking forget about it. I'm just sorry. As a person that was going to school to be basically a psychologist, most likely, or a social worker, I can 100% tell you, unless Jesus of Nazareth or Muhammad or some other prophet can fucking come through and release the scrolls and the tablets and crack them upside the head to change their mentality and mindset, which is possible. I do believe in miracles, but most women that were not raised by their fathers, you can tip the hat, and also was raised by a vindictive, toxic mother that pretty much hated men. You can forget having that woman be 100% acceptance towards your dominance without any defiance. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it ain't women out there, but it's damn near, you know pretty much most of the women that are like that were, as far as they were raised by a mother, a single mother, no father in the household, no father, no access to the father whatsoever, you'll be hard pressed to find women like that are 100% acceptable towards your dominance, because basically unless you trying to beat their ass every day, because yeah, I mean that's the thing with the thug. The thug, he's not afraid to go to jail. He literally has women scared to death, of the consequences of doing things the wrong way. Kind of similar to a pimp. Like, he's not, whatever he says, that's what she has to do. If she don't do it, he might go upside her head. Like, I'm not saying you got to go upside her head. That's not what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean, most women, if you go upside the head, I mean, well, some of them will kill your ass. But I mean, the thing is that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you got to go upside the head, because yeah, the toxic, the subprime women, yeah, they do listen to a certain extent. They will deal with submission by, you know, uh, a beating. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a woman that naturally is okay, acceptable towards your dominance. Those women tend to be, they see their father have that type of relationship. They saw their father have that type of upbringing, and usually those households are uh households where sometimes it's most likely a religious household of some sort, or some type of conservative household where it's like God, family, um legacy, wealth, country type of household. Not to say no liberal household wouldn't have that either, but it's usually something like that on a conservative level, or some type of you know family oriented type of setting or upbringing. Now, I mean, that's the secret. Like, I mean, I ain't really got too much else to say. I mean, like I say, I just wanted to hop on here and just kind of give my 2 cents. I mean, I don't know. I don't expect to get no views and all that. I don't really care about views and all that shit. I just want to, if I can help one guy, you know, cool. That I'm totally fine with it. And if another thing is, it's a not told you so video. You can't say I didn't say it, and you come back a year later, 2 years, damn, man, I had all of these problems, and I got with this chick, and she got me in the court, and she disrespected me, and she taking my kid, and da, 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 da. And it's like, yeah, you ain't take me serious. You didn't respect my gangster. You didn't respect my information. You didn't respect what I had to say. And you were just stubborn. Because a lot of dudes just be stubborn. A lot of men are fucking stubborn as fuck when it comes to getting advice from other men. Because especially, I mean, they just, a lot of times men have to fucking actually get hit upside the head. Men have to actually get they clock clean, and then they be like, oh, damn. And then they, when that does happen, I will say, when that does happen, the person that they took for granted as far as their information or advice, they do come a lot of time, they come back with their tail in between their legs, and they have a more higher admiration and respect for that guy that divulged their information. because they went through it. They got their clock clean and they come back and they humble. They like, damn, this dude actually did. He told me, but I did not listen. It's like my uncle, my grandfather, my daddy, and he told me some information and I ain't listen. I got my clock clean. I got hit upside the head. And I know now, and I know for the rest of my life, but damn, I done got through. I got to deal with all of this madness and all of this stuff that I could have avoided, and it happens. I mean, I was that guy before, and a lot of times men have to just get hit upside get hit upside the head, then you realize, you should have paid attention, and the message was right, the writing was on the wall, and you just didn't read it. So anyways, that's all I have to say, man. It's real, it's just that simple, man. I mean, all that old relationship talk and all that other shit, all that stuff, it's men that have basically trying to wrestle with the idea of dealing with masculine women that do not allow men to be a man fully. And there's a lot of women in America like that. That is the common, what, quote unquote, like, Kevin Samuel said, the modern woman. That's how she is. She has a problem with men's dominance, or the patriarchy, as they say, or whatever the fuck. But they desire that same man. Women are kind of like retarded in a sense. They actually want what they complain about a lot of times. So, and that's why you shouldn't really pay attention to them like that. You shouldn't even worry about what they talking about too much, because you all you have to worry about is being a man and being dominant, and, like I said, getting the woman that allows and accepts your dominance.
I don't know if people are aware of this, but the most important decision you will ever make in your life after choosing to believe in God is the mate you choose to spend the rest of your life with. Your mate will either inspire you to grow into your greatness, or they'll confine you to complacency. They'll either be your other half, or they'll make you half of yourself. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, like, a good relationship will make you more youthful and bring out the best in you, and a bad one will age you prematurely and bring out the worst. So choose wisely.
Message.